Hi there. I'm making this vid basically to discuss some of the stuff that I've used to help me with sleep and my general thoughts, just a bit more info on tinnitus in general. But yeah, mainly this will be about addressing a few of the things that I personally have done to try to help me with sleep when my tinnitus was bad. So yeah, again, forgive me if this video seems a bit rambly or, a bit crap because I'm not very good at these. But I figure it'll be helpful. And, someone's asked me, that's mainly what this is. Someone's asked me what helps me with my sleep or any tips on it. So I'll do my best to address that. And I've got a list of stuff, so if it seems like I'm reading, please forgive me again. So yeah, basically the first thing is just the main bit that really got it to start to calm down for me, not specifically to do with sleep, but just as a general thing, is just understanding that the tinnitus is just a sound because you're not sick, you're not broken. It's just dysfunctional. Your nervous system is overactive. It's not broken or anything like that. It's just way too overactive. You're probably way too thinky and stressed and all that sort of stuff, things that trigger it. And so, yeah, I'm going to say this to people that are new to this. It's very scary. It is a very scary time. Like I said in my last vid, I've had tinnitus for about 5 or 6 years now, but it was recently that it spiked to the point where it really impeded my day-to-day quality of life. It really fucked me up. There's no other way of putting it. It was really brutal to deal with. I could hear it over everything, live rock bands, white noise stuff. They didn't help with sleep, even though I would recommend that, and I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, it was really bad. And I had nowhere to turn until I started to find the YouTube stuff, because I've been starting to look at YouTube more. If you check my channel, you'll notice it's all Let's Plays, and yeah, I really liked all that on YouTube. And in the sidebar one day, there was Julian's vids out of nowhere. I wasn't even looking for the tinnitus stuff. I'd spent a few months when it first spiked trying to figure out what was causing it, like whether it's my jaw being out of alignment or, whether it was bad posture or anything like that. But none of it seemed to quite fit. And then, like I say, out of the blue, out of nowhere, there in the sidebar, just because I was on YouTube watching a lot of Let's Plays, there was Julian's vids to do with tinnitus, and they were the most helpful thing, bar none. Just seeing that, and he's such a calm in his delivery, he's so calm, you can almost sense it from his vids. He's very relaxed, he's clearly dealt with this, he clearly knows what he's on about, and I'm no authority on tinnitus. I'm just a bloke, just a person that's experienced this, and that's why I've made these vids, because I could have done with seeing more of that, just people that have suffered it and are improving. But yeah, go watch Julian's vids. I'm at risk of sounding like an advert or something, but there's no internet scam here. There's nothing I'm selling. There's nothing he's selling as far as I'm aware. Just go watch his videos, take on what he's got to say on tinnitus, and learn to emotionally accept that the noise, the ringing, is just a sound. It doesn't mean there's anything necessarily wrong with you. You just need to learn to accept, all the fear, all of that stuff. It's part of it. It's what's gotten you into this state. The tinnitus has a nasty effect of amplifying it. You get stuck in a very negative cycle. And my tinnitus didn't stop increasing once it spiked until I learned, it's just because you're stressed. It really is that simple. So again, take a deep breath and just take that on board. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a sound. And it's important to get to a stage where you don't emotionally feed that. But I think I talked enough about that in the last vid, so I'm going to get on. Yeah, I've got my list. I'm on to number 2 now. So just positive message, relax. It is a temporary thing. No matter how scared you're feeling, no matter what's caused it, no matter what stage you're at, it can heal. It can heal completely if you, go down that path and follow it through to the end. So just go watch his vids and relax. Right, so let's see, number 2, inhale, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I've got a bit, about to do with sleep. So I'm still suffering. I don't want to say suffering, I'll say recovering. That's a much better thing. I think suffering paints a negative picture. It seems like a silly thing, but it's important to state because I'm on the up with my tinnitus. I am improving, even though it does still spike and it goes up and down. I'm in the middle of a big spike at the moment. Right now I can hear it. It's like there's a TV on and, lots of noise. And I'll touch on that. Basically, the past few days I've done something I knew that I shouldn't have done. And it's nothing like big, it's, not important or impressive stuff. But basically my emotional space has been encroached on a bit. And my personal boundaries, they haven't been up strong enough. I've let myself do things that I shouldn't really be doing and I knew I shouldn't be doing. And yeah, the tinnitus has gone up. Over a couple of days being in that state, it's just straight up. And it's quite loud when I'm sleeping now. But again, I'm at a stage where I can live my day-to-day life with it because it's just a noise. It's not a bad thing, Even though I'm on the high end of where my tinnitus varies, it's just a noise. I can sleep pretty damn fine with it. It doesn't bug me like that. So try to get to that stage by watching Julian's vids and yeah, doing that stuff. Anyway, so right. There's some straightforward things that you can do to help with sleep. The big one, obviously, is white noise generation, which is the universe's gift to us tinnitus recoverers. So I will link in the description below some of my favorite ones, but yeah, campfire noise is good. Rain and thunder. I love rain and thunder personally. I liked it long before the tinnitus. I remember I was joking with my brothers back when I was noticing it, you know, before the big spike that was starting to go up. I remember joking with them because I was listening to a lot of it, and I remember saying, yeah, God, I hope it doesn't get to the stage where I need this stuff, because though I like it, that would be horrible, you know, with the tinnitus. So yeah, it was a bad joke, and haha, you know, come about like it. But yeah, if your tinnitus isn't that bad that you can't drown it out listening to this stuff, then they're very useful, especially for sleep. You know, like I say, there's a campfire one that's my favorite. It seems to tune out some of it, some of the higher frequencies. That works really well. So if they work, do that. Music can work well. I'm a musician, so when I listen to music, I tend to pick it apart. My brain gets active. Doesn't help with my tinnitus. So I would not recommend music to musicians. But if you're not and you just enjoy music as just a nice sound, then do that. You know, music is great. Like I say, white noise, nature sounds, all that stuff, they're really useful. You know, I bet MP3 players are cheap or something, or use a laptop or whatever. And try that. Anything that can get your attention off of the tinnitus, that can get you out of the, oh, it's ringing so bad, I can't stand it. You know, like I say, when mine was bad, I couldn't take my mind off of it no matter what I did. You know, it was really bad. So no matter what stage you're at, it can improve. I'll say that again. I'll be repeating that through this whole video. Right, but yeah, so basically that's the main practical thing I can recommend. I don't have experience with drugs or anything like that, you know, pills that are supposed to help. I don't have much faith in most medicines like that for things like this. Like I say, physical things like hormonal imbalances and stuff, yeah, and to a degree, tinnitus is a factor like that, but the only thing I've found that really offered good relief is addressing the core stuff and the long-term issues. So I've rambled enough with that. I have a few mental exercises that I use, and they're all just variations based on, like, Julian's teachings, you know? They're all just variations on that, but I have some experience with using visualization for other things. I say obesity I've studied, and that helps for that. There's a lot of similar triggers between obesity and tinnitus. There's a lot of very similar things, and mainly it expresses in different people based on your outlook and your perception, because the way you interpret things, the way your subconscious mind processes what you see with the world, dictates the hormonal response and how your body builds itself, how it reacts. You know, for some people, stress will make them skinnier, others it will make them fatter, others they'll, you know, get ill, all sorts of things. It's really fascinating stuff, but I imagine you're not so interested in that. You just, yeah, deal with the practical side of things. So one of the exercises I used, and this will sound, you know, quite strange stuff, you know, if you're not into that whole new agey type, you know, Zen-like mumbo jumbo, this will be strange. So feel free to skip this. Mainly for people that are not interested in this, just try the white noise stuff, watch Julian's videos, and start trying to address what in your life is causing stress. And pay attention to how you feel, how you think it can lie, basically. How you consciously think. Like I mentioned in the last vid about, you may think you're relaxed. You know, to you, mentally, you may think, oh, I'm let down, I'm calm, I'm relaxed. But there can be all sorts of stuff going on that you're not noticing. Like when I first started to bring my attention out of the head, I realized, and it was like it this morning, which is a prime example, you know, when I was waking up, my chest, it felt like, my heart wasn't beating a million miles a minute, but it was like I was vibrating, you know, and it correlated directly with the increase in the tinnitus. It was really strange, but I've felt it before. It's nothing to worry about. I think it's just my nervous system is on fire. So I don't know exactly what that could be, but I could physically feel it. And back when my tinnitus was bad, I had no idea about all this stuff going on down below the neck. I was all in the head. So yeah, you've got to come down and start focusing on that and feel. Like I say, I'll talk you through a couple of exercises I do, but it's about feeling. It's not about thinking and being smart and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Think of things like a child would. And I could ramble off forever about, you know, different states of the brain and all that, but basically just think of things like a child, alright? Don't complicate it with mental clutter. Feel when you're doing these exercises, you know? So, yeah, I'll try to get to the point. Mental exercise 1. This one, like I say, it's just a mental thing. I find it helps. I don't know if many of you will, but give it a try and see what you think. So basically, I just imagine some sort of shield or barrier, you know, like a wall of light, a plexiglass screen, you know, like they use for drums and things like that on stage to cut the noise down. I imagine that between my tinnitus and my head, and it allows me to shift my focus more into my head and away from the sound. And I find it doesn't like turn the sound down, but it's like it makes it further away, which when trying to sleep, that can be incredibly useful. It can just be a noise going on in the background and you're not aware of it. That's the stage I'm at basically all the time now. Whether the noise is high or low, you know, intense, there's multiple ones going on, it doesn't matter. It's just in the background, and I can sleep pretty damn easily. You know, I can sleep as good as I ever did before the tinnitus really kicked on. So yeah, give that a try. Like I say, it's nothing more than just try to feel a wall of some sort, whatever type you like, whatever your preference is, between the sound and your head, you know, wherever it is. And when I do this, sometimes, depending on how I react to it, I can feel the tinnitus move around, and I just keep the shield up. I try to keep it there. So, like I say, if you're into that stuff, try that. Exercise 2, this, like I say, this mainly stems from when I was researching obesity. If you've seen any of Jon Gabriel's work on the subject, this basically stems from that type of stuff, which is just, you're trying to physically relax your body. You're trying to nudge it in the direction of calming down. So basically, imagine just strong, bright, pure white light. Again, this is very new agey type stuff, so feel free to skip if this doesn't resonate with you or whatever. But yeah, you imagine the light coming in through your head and gradually work through your whole body, work through every muscle, every tendon, bone, all that stuff. Just imagine it coming in, going down, and, you know, feel, like I say, don't be thinking, oh, now it's in my head, now it's in my neck. Feel the area, rub it if you have to, you know, oh, it's in my chest now, you know, tap it, rub, whatever. The point is to get out of your head and connect with your body and get it to relax. And try that, take forever with it. Breathe deep, breathe slow, not to the point where it, you know, you're thinking about it, but just try to relax. Try to get your heartbeat to calm down. Try to get the stress response to calm down. And you may not notice much difference immediately with this stuff, but I find it does add up, you know, and you get better at it the more you do. The point of this is just to learn to relax. So yeah, I think I've covered that. That's basically it. And again, it wasn't until I started doing this stuff and paying attention to how my body felt, you know, not just, oh yeah, my leg, it's fine. No, really coming down and feeling it, you know. It really made a difference to me. Like I say, I started to, like Julian says in his vids, yeah, find a place that feels good. For me, my legs, my thighs, they tended to really, you know, they felt really relaxed next to my chest or something. So I focused on that. I focused on feeling that feeling and trying to spread it through the whole body. Just focus in on that. The tinnitus is where your mind is focused in on all the stressful stuff and your senses get sensitive, all that sort of thing. So yeah, focus on the good parts. You have to try that. Right. Exercises through the day, yeah, those are the only main two mental ones I do, because I don't need to do them much. I find the main thing that determines my tinnitus is mainly how strong my emotional boundaries are in the day. This one's the big one. Like I say, I'm dealing with a spike right now. It's not terrible, but I can really hear it compared to 3 days ago. And yeah, what I've done is just put myself in a place where emotionally I'm a bit exposed, you know, feeling a bit less safe, a bit more stressed. And yeah, that means tinnitus goes up, the feeling in the chest is back, I'm aware of it right now, you know, it's quite tight and all that sort of thing, so yeah, emotional space. So exercises throughout the day, again, to shift the focus away from the head. These are all based on Julian stuff. Just do anything physical that you can, anything physical that can bring the attention away, you know, if you just stand up and, like a child, you know, like a child at play. He's had a video on this very recently, excuse me, where he's just moving and trying to feel the body and letting it do what it wants, you know, letting the energy flow, all that sort of stuff. Just very calm, gentle. That can help. That helps me quite a bit. It makes me more aware of my body, and that's really good. The other thing that I like to do is I'll stand up and I'll just pat everywhere, you know, just really try to get your body to respond, you know, try to feel it. Pat all over, all down the legs, you know, just everywhere. Even pinch, you know, light pinches. You know, and I can feel the tinnitus, you know, as the pain response kicks on, you know. It fires off and you hear it. So yeah, that's mainly it. Like I say, it's exercise 1, imagine the shield, you know, between the tinnitus and you. Exercise 2, what was it? Yeah, it's just a calming exercise. Just imagine light flooding through your body. It's just a meditation type thing. Do it when laid down in bed. This is when I do all the mental stuff I do when I'm trying to relax, you know. And at night in bed, you know, if you sleep in bed by yourself, if you're not married or whatever, it's the best time because everyone else will be asleep, probably. You know, it will be the time of day where you're least emotionally called upon. You know, you'll be able to not isolate yourself, but it's the best time for it, I find, personally. So give it a shot. But any time that's comfy for you will be great. The more you do it through the day, the better off you'll be. So yeah, and yeah, okay, I'm just checking my list. Yeah, again, the best thing for it, really, with all that said and done, those are the short-term things I've done. It may not seem like much, but they did help me. It really did. So give it a try, but I imagine the main one most people will take is use the white noise generators, try to mask it for now, and they can work really well, but I disagree with the medical community. They invent devices to do it throughout the day because it's like taking a pill when you're sick. Well, it allows you to continue on doing the stuff that has caused you to get to this state. So I disagree with it long term like that, but for just immediate sleep relief, yeah, use whatever tools you have at your disposal. Seriously, and please, write below, write stuff that's helped you. You know, because I know a fair few people, not like tons and tons, but a fair few have watched my other video, and I love that people are commenting as well, sharing their experience, so please do it on this vid as well, if you find it's helpful, or even if you think it's crap, you know, tell people what you think has helped you, you know, please. So anyway, with all that said, the only way to really get the tinnitus to back off, to calm down so that you can sleep properly, is obviously to do all the long-term stuff to get it to calm down. You need to be less stressed, less emotionally vulnerable and exposed throughout the day, and that's easier said than done. You know, like I say, with my recent experience, what it would have involved for me to not put myself in that situation is say a firm no, you know, to people quite close to me, which is awkward. It's hard to do, and you'll overlook it, and until the tinnitus spikes up again, you know, for me, I didn't realize that I was emotionally like that with it. You know, it's a very complicated thing, and it's, like I say, tinnitus is simple to cure, but it's hard. You know, the method is straightforward. You just need to calm down. Whatever you do, the more you relax throughout the day, the calmer you can be, the more clear your head can be. Like I say, like a child. Think of things like a child. You know, because their brains, they vibrate slower. You know, literally different mental states and that, you know, beta, alpha, all that sort of stuff. You know, their brains vibrate slower. And when you're in that state as well, it's very easy to suggest things that your subconscious mind will pick up on. You can imagine yourself with less tinnitus. Imagine yourself healthier, freer, less stress. It will help. And yeah, so, again, go back to my list. Yeah, just work on the long-term things. Again, watch Julian's videos. That guy is a saint as far as I'm concerned. His was the one thing that really made sense to me when my tinnitus was spiking up bad. It's the one thing that allowed me to start calming down. Just realizing that this does have an explanation, this tinnitus thing. It isn't just a mystery like doctors would point out. Their perspective on it is what's out. They won't. I'm not holding my breath waiting for them to come up with a miracle pill to cure it, because they don't have a scope of the whole body the way it works, you know, with the mind and all that stuff. It's very much just the physical things, which is great until you get a problem like tinnitus. So yeah, anyway, rambling again. So yeah, work on the long-term things every day. Mainly use these exercises at night. That would be my recommendation when you're trying to sleep. But again, try to stay out of the head. Try to come down in the body and remain calm. Always, always, to simplify things, think of the world as a child would. You know, not overly complicated, not overly articulate or wordy with their problems. Just feel them, you know? So right. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah, just, it's easy with all the stresses we face in today's environment, you know, to overthink and overstress and overworry. The cure is not to try to outthink them or be smarter or be better. It's just cut back. Seriously, try to be calmer, try to be more relaxed, try not to worry about things that are outside of your control, which is hard, I know, but yeah. Anyway, so that's about all I've got to say on the subject. I've rambled a fair bit, I am sorry. I hope to get good at these one day, but for now, this is the best I can do. So yeah, that's the main thing I want, is just please share your experience below on things that have worked for you, mainly in regards to sleep. So yeah. Giving you the mental exercises I use, the stuff throughout the day, and just your long-term plan with it to calm down. So that's about all I've got to say on the subject. I wish you the best of luck. Please let me know how you're doing with it, and just, yeah, Go watch Julian's videos. They really help. They really help me. So, yeah, best of luck. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, best of luck. Bye.